Hurricane Helene, day number 25 update coming at you. I'm up here in Swannanoa, North Carolina, right here in front of this small business that got totally ruined. Swannanoa is one of the areas that got hardest hit by the storm. This is about 30 minutes north of where I live in Fletcher, North Carolina, where I've been doing a lot of updates. This is about 10 minutes east of Asheville downtown. And you can see right here, this small business here, I mean, that building is just a total loss. I haven't heard confirmation of that from the owners, but just taking one look at it, you can tell that. And as we walk up over here, look at this sinkhole that's developed out in front of the business right here on Route 70. As we look across the street, you'll see more businesses that are just, I mean, the buildings are just totally destroyed. No chance of rebuilding those. You would have to start 100% from scratch. Right across the street here is a bridge. That bridge got majorly impacted by the storm right there. I mean, look at the road just ripped up and torn apart. If we go across the street here, another small business right here on 70. You can see the water just totally ripped right through this. I mean, really not much left to the structure at all. You can see here in the distance, Carpet City right there. This business, again, just totally wrecked by the Swannanoa River just ripping through. You can see this tree like resting up against this business right here, actually right through the front door. How about that? Just the power of the storm and what it did to these buildings here is incredible. Next door is a brewery called Terra Nova Beer and Loot House. This just opened earlier on this year. We just heard from the owners of Loot House on Instagram that they don't plan on reopening in this location. Just took so much loss, and it's a brand new business. I can't imagine that they have much capital from just being opened, and they probably have a lot of banknotes still in the property. You can see how this property here just got ravaged. You can see power lines still just hanging on. They're still on the ground. I mean, we're at day 25. We're in this for the long haul, y'all. This is not going to be a quick rebuild, and this is just one of the majorly impacted area. Just shocking footage here. This is the first time I've been through here. There's a pickup truck, I'm just noticing, that's upside down right there. That's sort of hard to believe. This is all live reaction. I've driven by this area, but have not walked through here, so this is my first time seeing a lot of this. I mean, this is people's entire lives, homes, cars. Again, like look back here. There's a car inside of that carport that is knocked down. Another car that's totally wrecked right there. You can see an X on the windshield. Home just totally wrecked. You can see the water just ripped through the windows right there, leaving all kinds of debris. Here, who knows where all this fencing and wood came from. Another structure could have been next door, could have been a mile down the street. Just really hard to say. Nice little camper, or at least was a nice little camper. I mean, this is just, it's unlike anything I've seen. How you doing, gentlemen?
Doing all right?
Doing okay, man. Thanks for your work. I know this ain't easy. There's a group of volunteers here helping out with this one right here. There's so many volunteers in the area. Look at these cars. I mean, it's just shocking. Just how many cars. And again, we're 25 days since the storm, and these are cars that haven't even been towed out of here yet. There's got to be thousands of cars that are still left. There are total losses that they just haven't even had time to get them all out of here. Haven't had the person power to do it. Look at this. Just the wreckage, the rubble. I mean, what it's done to the land, what it's done to buildings, what it's done to cars is, I mean, just walking through this, it's really hard to, I don't know, it's really hard to have any words for this. Just let the photos or the images here do the talking. I mean, look at just the rubble. Who knows how far that chair or whatever it was floated down the Swannanoa River or any of this stuff. Wow. Look at these trees just uprooted, laying down flat, covered in mud. It hasn't rained since the storm, so we could actually use just a hint of rain just to sort of wash off some of the silt and dust and dirt and mud that's really everywhere throughout these impacted parts of the region. Here's the front side of those businesses I was showing you from the back side. There's Carpet City right there, totally ruined. Now we're gonna spin around here and you're gonna see some of the impact here. This gas station, you've probably seen this in a bunch of viral videos. It's hanging on right on the banks of the Swannanoa River, and obviously the river just ripped right through it. And if I zoom in over that way, it's probably too unsafe to get too close over there, but you can see that all the land around the gas station there, around that bridge, is washed away. And you can just see this is all parking lot. You can see the pavement has just been all ripped up. You can see where the water surrounded this building, washed away all of this bank. And here's the Swannanoa River proper. This is the same river that runs down and flooded the Biltmore Village area and Biltmore itself. And you can see the banks right here just totally washed away, yards away from where the banks used to be, all the way up to here. And you can see it cut out the back of that building right there, which is wild. You can still see they're working on lines on the other side. Look at this, where we're standing. I mean, look at out there, look at that truck. That's insane. I'm just noticing that. Again, this is all live reaction. I've driven past here, but I haven't gotten close like this. Look at that van. I don't even know how how is it hanging on there? That's wild to me. But yeah, you can see the edge right here. I mean, the banks were all the way out there, basically where you see that tree hanging on. That was the banks previously, and on the other side you can see how the banks came like where they used to be, and now up high where they are by those trucks, which is wild. All the trees that are knocked down in the way, just wild. And you can see on the other side of the road, that side got flooded too, and that's residential on that side. So the amount of destruction just in this little area of Swannanoa is wild. I mean, here's another foundation for a building. Not really sure what to say about that. And as we get closer here, you can see the road and the parking lot washed up. Another building that's just totally wiped out. Cars, trucks. Who knows where all this debris came from? It could have been miles upstream, or it could have been next door. It's hard to say. But just wild destruction. Wow. Next door, another building right on 70. This is wild. Look at this. So a mechanic shop just totally wrecked, and you can see the river was where it's supposed to run is behind the building. You can see it ran through the building and through the front of the building. And same thing on the other side of the road. There's a home. It's obviously a total loss. And obviously the amount of infrastructure that's going to be impacted by this, just like conduits, wires, all that stuff, is going to take forever to replace and rebuild. And some signs there. I mean, still 25 days later, and you got wires hanging down like this. Closer look at the gas station here. Again, just another small business, and just ravaged by this storm. And then as we look down here, look at the power lines and transformers. This is insane. And again, the river was all the way up here. All the way up, there's the sign. It got blown out. Wow. And here's this bridge that they've been working on. You can see the water obviously over the top of that bridge, right? Look at that, transformers. Multiple power lines, poles. 25 days later, and just like the rubble is not going anywhere anytime soon. This rebuild is going to take so much time. It's a close look into the business here. This window shattered out. Obviously, everything ripped away. There's a tree that just parked right up there. I mean, just totally gutted this building. Wow, look at this. You can see that's where the refrigerators were, where they'd sell like sodas and beers and Gatorades and stuff. Like punched in, like pushed back by the water. Incredible. Back in the car and just driving just a little further on down the street and just more of the same. Obviously, where we're driving now is 100% underwater. All these buildings we're looking at likely total losses. Those cars, total losses. There's cars getting towed away that were total losses. More cars that need to be towed away. Just the amount of rubble, trash, it's just insane.